Today we'll be looking at some 2K17 MyCareer top archetype and precision, and make sure you subscribe for over 100 NBA 2K17 tutorials. So yes, the type we're looking at is the stretch big, and the precision, the power forward. This is one of the more deadliest type in precision out there in MyCareer. So this is the converter I've been using to show you guys the attributes. Keep in mind I'm using a very conservative minimum and maximum here, you can see on the left side, and also I'm using default height and default wingspan and default weight, so you can change those accordingly yourself. But as you can see, if you have a fully capped out stretch power forward or sharpshooting 4, you get some pretty crazy stats. Check out the 3-point shooting is at 95, the mid-range shooting is also at 95. The weakness of agility and layups and dunks are there, but you know, you're a big man, so this isn't as detrimental as if you were a sharpshooting wing, because you probably want agility and layups and dunks. But as a sharpshooting big, agility and layups and dunks not that big of a deal. Everything else is, I say, decent. But the craziest thing of all is check out the badges, the default badges that comes with a stretch 4 or shooting big. You get deep range deadeye, limitless range, catch and shoot, corner specialist, and pick and popper. So with these badges and those attributes, you're essentially getting a prime Dirk Nowitzki. Alright, you're gonna be up here pump faking, people be jumping, and you're gonna be able to hit all of these long range shots. But it's not just that, you're better than that. You can also set pick and fade screens, because you're a big man, right? If you set pick and fade screens and you got really high mid-range, you're gonna hit all of these pick and fade jumpers. And it's not just that, because you can hit pick and fade jumpers. Check it out. Nowitzki sets a kind of ball screen for Terry here, and look, Paul Millsap on the Jazz back then cannot leave Dirk Nowitzki. Look at how tight he is as Terry is turning the corner. Because of this, if you just run dribble pitch handoffs out of ball screens, you're gonna get your teammates a lot of easy drives. Combine this with a shot creator, it's cheese. Alright, and look at these badges once again. You can literally use all 5 of these at once out of a pick and fade. So if you set a ball screen and you fade, you're activating pick and popper. If you catch the ball back, you're activating catch and shoot. And if you happen to fade to a corner very far away from the 3-point line, you're activating limitless range and corner specialist. And if someone is closing out on you from the 3-point line after you fade, doesn't matter, you have deep range deadeye. A stretch big is insane in this game if you set pick and fades non-stop. Just look at Prime Dirk here, and it's not just that. Look, Jason Kidd is gonna go set a pin down for Dirk, right? Just like in 2K, if someone sets a pin down for you in the post, look at how open Jason Kidd is, because the power forward has to try to catch you. James Harden back in OKC now has to help a little bit off of Kidd, so Kidd is wide open for a second. If you don't make that pass, that's fine. You're gonna go right into another pick and fade. The first one doesn't work, set it again, you can shoot. Watch, you're gonna fade, the team panics. Now he's gonna close out on you. Decent here, Nick Collison. But because you are like a power forward, even though your agility isn't that high, neither is the other guy. He's a power forward too. How fast is he gonna be? You're not gonna really be in a speed disadvantage because you are a sharpshooting 4. The other guy guarding you is kind of slow too. So watch, a little bit of shimmy pump fake, kind of just move a little, get by him, pull up, because you also have 95 mid-range. Alright family? Sharpshooters are a pretty crazy class instead of shooting in 2K17 MyCareer. But if you have a sharpshooting 4, everything becomes much worse for the defense, because you know, the damage or the weakness you have as a sharpshooter this year is that you are slow and you can't lay up and dunk. That is actually a problem if you're a wing player, because as a wing player you're going to be faced with other pretty fast wing defenders, so you want to be able to be a little bit fast and dunk and finish layups. But if you are a stretch 4, who really cares, right? If you're decently slow, so is the other guy, he's a power forward too. And you don't need to throw down or do fancy layups because you're a power forward. As long as you get enough lane, drive it in there, kick it out, that's it. And as a stretch big, just like in the modern NBA, if you can shoot lights out like that, your ball screen out of a pick and fade, it's its own entire offense. The gravity of a ball screen from you as a stretch 4, it's gonna torn up a defense, because you can fade to the mid-range and you can fade to the free. And you have all those freaking badges where you're gonna catch and shoot, and the guy closing out on you doesn't even make a difference because you have deep range deadeye. The sharpshooter class is nasty, yeah, but is absolutely at its pinnacle, at its most damaging form if you are a sharp shooting power forward. Alright? Because your weaknesses aren't that big of a weakness as a power forward. If you're slower and can't dunk and can't lay up, who cares? Just let pick and phase. Hold the spot. Just by standing there, you're taking another pick out of the paint. So you're helping your teammates by standing around. You can set on-ball screen, you can set off-ball screen. Either way, you will break the defense. So a stretch. If you want to be a sharpshooter, be a sharpshooting forward. You're gonna be nasty. Alright, and as the game comes out, way more tutorials, way more in-detail MyCareer tutorials. These are kind of just scouting vids, but they're still pretty good. But as I get the game, nasty tutorials. Keep an eye out, family. Thanks for coming. I'll see all of you next time.